Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my weekly post for Scrap Backwards, and I will tell you about my my journey to this point. I had some photos that were printed out that I'd run across, and to be honest, they've been there for a while, and I wasn't inspired to use them. So for Scrap Backwards, I use my Scrap Backwards kit for lots of pages that I don't necessarily do backwards. And by backwards, that means picking the embellishments and the papers and then figuring out what story and photo I want to use. So, but on Mondays, I try for those pages to be backwards pages. So what I did, I kind of gathered an unlikely assortment of papers. This one is it's an advent calendar cut apart from the Joyful collection by Cocoa Vanilla, a Christmas paper. So let me so I figured that would be my background paper. And I looked around, I was maybe looking for some girly, soft sort of embellishments with an idea maybe that I would find a photo of Katie or, you know, something of that sort. And I came across this paper, which I really put in the kit. This is it's Shimelle's Field Trip. I really put this in the collection so that I could fussy cut these bugs, particularly those ladybugs. But I like the background color there too. And I thought, well, this paper has the pink flowers and their little red centers, so maybe I could use something red with them. I'm going to go ahead and cut a block of this. I have no idea. I'm going to cut a 3 by 12 block, and we'll see what we want to do with it. And that'll leave me with, well, I like this branding strip because it has that kind of dark teal color with the polka dots. And I thought, okay, so I had this fiber in there, these black and white bits, and I ran across, because of the red, I was looking for something red, I had this paper, and I keep touching it, I had this paper that had these little houses on it, and well, this paper right here, in fact, and I liked the reverse side, so I fussy cut strips of the houses, and it's kind of hard to do because they're not all lined up. You've got the bottom of one house kind of overlapping the bottom, or the top of one house overlapping the bottom. So it was kind of tricky, but I made it work. And I created this little block without knowing at all what I was going to do with it. So I pulled this, and once I pulled that, that gave me the idea to go look at the, I'm going to put this back because I'm not going to use the rest of that, to go look at the photos I had. And at that point, I chose the photo, which is this one. I went and looked for this. I'm actually going to have to fussy cut it and distress it because I printed it with a frame on it. This is kind of a roundabout way to decide that you want to scrap something sometime. I ordered some stuff from, let's just say, a company that I have ordered from many times before. And I maintain a membership with them. And I've gotten things to this house at least, I don't know, 10, 15 times. And so I ordered, submitted the order, got a note that my order had been delivered, and there was no such thing, nothing had arrived. So I started looking through and couldn't find on the app where I could report an issue with it. And, you know, I later got an email, which would have made that easier. But before I actually got anywhere with that, I got a call from a lady saying, "Hi, this is so-and-so. I live at whatever." And it was my old address and where this house was. And she said, "I got a package for you." So long story short, the combination of that vendor and PayPal, I must have not used PayPal before. I must have used, just given them a credit card number, but I don't do that anymore. I use PayPal or Apple Pay. And she said, that the combination of that plus PayPal, that vendor plus PayPal, it remembered the old address, because apparently the last time I did that was 12 years ago when we lived here. So she and I were talking, and she was talking about all the changes. She's lived in the house 7 years now, and she loves it. She bought it from the people that we sold it to, and which kind of surprised me that the people we sold it to turned around and sold it. But anyway, so she was telling me about all the changes, and that made me go look up photos. And this is a photo, it's filtered, so you can't see details, and you can't even see the color of the house, but it's kind of a cartoon representation of the image of the house, and I liked the colors and the way they were broken up. This is a giant tree that was the bane of our existence, because it's a white oak tree, and white oak trees are prolific producers of acorns. And so we had acorns in our pool all the time. It was a nightmare. And the only pool maintenance company in town had gone out of business right around the time we built our pool. So that was a little bit frustrating. But anyway, we found a pool in an adjacent county, and we just had to pay them an arm and a leg to come and take care of our stuff. I'm cutting. So anyway, having chosen this, which I thought would go nicely with this, I started pulling all kinds of other things that I may not have chosen to go with the pretty pink plaid background. So I wanted to bring in some of the colors of the houses with this one. I'm gonna eventually fussy cut that and use this as a sentiment. So I'm gonna keep that. So I also want to cut a block of this, and I want this particular block. So, but this is, it doesn't matter if I cut the branding strip. It's not an all the way through branding strip. So I'll cut a 4.5 inch by whatever that is, look like 6 inches block there. Okay, and I'm gonna put all these blocks together and see what we come up with. And like I said, I have these little bits, they're torn bits of black and white paper that I thought I could tuck in somewhere. And because we are on day 25 of scrap timber and the prompt is mixed alphas, I'm gonna try to fashion a title out of these alphas and this set from Lovely Blooms by, and I'm thinking something like Cute Cottage. I don't know if that orange would look good on what I'm coming up with here, so I may change to something else entirely, and my other choices in my kit are these letters, but I can go find another alpha if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, and let's see how this might shape up. I have no idea. Okay, and I also have some stickers from both Lovely Blooms and Garden Bouquet. I'm going to put those off to the side. So I know that I want this on there. Let's just say I want the whole thing. And then I'm going to do this, except let's say I want to do it that way. And then let's say I go do something like that. And maybe put that there, and maybe this here, and put that up on there. And then I've got this, which could go, but you know, I kind of like the bamboo side of it. So let's go with the bamboo side. I'm not feeling too excited about this at the moment. But this is a possibility. And then I run this along there. That I'm thinking I need, unless I have some big embellishment to go here, and I'm thinking that I really don't, I may want to move this over. And actually, I'm thinking I might prefer, let's say that gets, see, that doesn't go at all. And because it's so different, it works because you can kind of use it as an accent. So let's say I build that. And then I'm thinking I'm going to use this here. I think I like it better this way. And then I can kind of put that there and this down here. I kind of like that. And then the rest of this can go on, we can figure out. And then I have to figure out what to do with this. Maybe down at the bottom where it's unobstructed, I could do that. Okay, so let's start figuring all this out. I'm going to quickly distress, not heavily distressed, but because I'm going to be laying everything down flat without a whole lot of foam going on, I thought having the edges somewhat distressed, and I could have cut this. My plan, I think, was not to run it all the way across, but I kind of like it that way. So let's go, and I have no idea. This isn't a design where I'm working from any kind of plan. I want to hide this little bit of matte washi tape there. And there's a line where this was cut. I didn't completely get the adjoining design out of there. So let me kind of, well, I know that's going to be covered anyway by this guy. And so this is, I do want this distressed, and I'll distress around the red as well. And they're all different kinds of papers, so the distressing shows a little differently, and yet it's kind of, it still gives you the casual look that a distressed edge would give you. And even doing it lightly like this, where you're not really bringing up a lot of texture. And there's some of you out there are saying, aha, she does have Shimelle, and this came in a kit. So yeah, I have a little. Okay, there. Now, this, I'm gonna down like that. So I definitely want this distressed on those three sides. Whoops. I need to line it up with a line there, and I have no preconceived notion of how far that needs to go. And I forget where I put this. Did I do this up here, or this is the same length as that, and I don't like that. Let's see what we're going to do with this first. I'm going to distress around here, and this maybe I will put up on foam just to make it stand out. Now see, these little houses are, all those colors are in there, sort of, at least the, if not the exact shades, the tone and the way they go together is kind of works that way. Okay, there, and then maybe this goes here. Okay, so let me get some foam. I looked at this and I thought, okay, I hate not having, not fussy cutting all of those houses, but I have lots of house papers that I can fussy cut, and limited pages to use them on. So I didn't think I needed to do it all, and I thought I'd use all of these together because I think they're really cute, and it works because these are all kind of cute little cottages in a cute little neighborhood. Let me get that on there. That looks straight, and there's just a little bit of that showing, and that's a shame. But it's kind of cute. Let's see where this can go. That. And the bamboo is appropriate because when we built a pool in the back, we had the owners of the property on the very back of the yard had a, well, I guess they had a chain link fence. So we put up a wood board fence that matched what we had on each side of the house. And it wasn't tall enough to block the views that we wanted to block. So I'm going to put this down here before I forget. So we bought some bamboo fencing, and our contractor made like a panel to put up. It made the fence taller, which blocked the view, but it was kind of open so that it was just a little more, I don't know, a little friendlier maybe is what I'm thinking of. Okay, so I'm gonna put one of these, and don't ask me why I'm doing this, but I just think black and white looks good on every stinking page. So if I have scraps of it, they're gonna get used. And then I can embellish around there. So now let's see where we want the photo. I'm thinking crossing this line, this line, this line. So I'm thinking kind of right there, all those lines draw your eye to that spot. So I need some more foam up at the top because I've got I'm having to go down from the foam that's behind here. Okay. That way it's got the bamboo, the red, the pretty blue, and the pink plaid there. Okay, so if that's not the strangest, even for me, that is a strange collection of a strange mixing of papers and embellishments. I've got this little thing right here that says feels like home, and I think I need to put that there, but what I really want to use is this, because these look like coneflowers, and we had coneflowers planted everywhere at this house, and that color brings in this color. It explains this color. There's red in here, and there's a little red there, but this kind of makes all of this okay. So now I actually have to make the pink make sense. I've got the red making sense, and I've got, I want to put these days are special, focus on the good, you're sweet, together. I want something to hide the for sale sign there, and I haven't decided yet. I know that my title is going to probably go somewhere in here, but I don't know. Let's see. If I put cute there, then I don't think I have enough room to spell cottage with these alphas, but I have these Obed Marshall ones, and I also have a couple of different colorways of these. I've got several of these different colorways of these Pinkfresh alphas. I like this alpha that doesn't have the serif on it, so I would choose one of those, I think, if that's what we do. And let's try the word cute and see if it fits nicely. And if it does, I will select, it's kind of an odd shade of almost a caramel, kind of brownish, beigeish orange. Not my favorite, but I can choose, I can see right here in this flower pack, there is an orange flower that's similar to that, and I can choose some embellishments that will bring this in. Also, these roofs and these houses are kind of that caramel color. So I can do, oh, I like it right there because the T crosses that line. You know how I am about crossing lines. Okay, cute. And then let's see what we might want to spell cottage out with. I'm going to put some embellishments here, so I want cottage underneath. We could go with this color, which is like a darker form of that, and it's similar to that. So let's do that. I should probably start with the E. So let's start with the E. Right there. And I need a G. And I have a G that's kind of that color. The shades will vary a little bit. And that's kind of slightly down. And I need an A. Some of them are going to be oranger and others will be pinker. And as I'm putting these in, it's giving me a chance to think where I want embellishment clusters. I'm going to raise this one up maybe a little higher than that E. And I'm going to go for 2 T's. And I put that one a little bit close, and I'll put this one close too, and that's okay. That kind of gives it sort of a whimsical look, like I didn't really intend for any of this to be lined up. There, and now my C. So I'm happy that this lady loves our little house. We put our hearts and souls into renovating it and building it out to be our forever home, and then moved to be, because it made sense for James. James was 78 miles away from where he was working, and he was driving that back and forth every day. And when I think originally he had thought he might, I found some more florals that might go with that. Originally he thought he might be able to work more from home, and as he advanced in his position, there was more and more reason for him to be at the office. Okay, so having said that, I need flowers that look like they don't absolutely clash with this. And so I'm going to try one of these because I like that color. And if I put it near the title like that, that is just a perfect match. So I'm going to use it, and I'm going, if I feel like this is, you know, it's not that different. Flowers are flowers, and you have all different kinds of flowers in a garden. And this was a little white picket fence, and there had been nothing but gravel on the street side of it. So we planted an English country garden there with, you know, like filling it up, and the border was created. There's a curved border was created. We had built there was nothing but driveway going up, and then there was a fence, or no, I don't think there was a fence, and it was a really long driveway that went the whole length of the house, and we wanted a garden. That was the ideal place for a garden, so we jackhammered up where they used it to store their boat. So we jackhammered that up, and the broken up pieces of concrete we didn't dispose of any of it. None of it went to a landfill. So that all went kind of around and formed that curved bed. And then we had more attractive gravel that led up to the paved street. So that's probably more than you ever wanted to know. But let's see if there are any other flowers like that don't have. Normally I'm excited to see things with lavender in them, but I don't think I want to introduce lavender to this color palette. I don't mind the pink, but here's one that I can cut the lavender off and maybe do right here somehow, or over here. Or do I need to cut the lavender off? There's a little bit of grayish color there. I'm not seeing that at the moment. What I'm looking for is a good combination of this pink and that kind of gold color. And if I cut, let me just do it. Okay, so I've cut it, and I can kind of put it at a little bit of an angle there, or maybe here. and kind of in conjunction with the black and white, because we did it that way up top. Okay. And I keep thinking when I hit this that I can't go any farther, but it's just got to bridge that bit there. There's another piece right here that I think could go here. Like that, for instance. That works for me. Let's see. I was thinking I was going to have mostly, I was going to be hunting mostly for the flowers in the garden bouquet. These are called fancy floral ephemera, and I think they were sent by mistake at a class I took, which is why the package isn't opened. Because we didn't use them for the project. So I'm going to lift that up because I put the foam in the wrong place. And I'm going to stick this foam under here so that doesn't collapse, but it doesn't need to stick. Okay. Now, I have this. I've been trying to use this little thing that says staycation, and this place was set up to be staycation headquarters. And we spent so much money on building the pool and on the renovations to the house. We didn't have any money to go anywhere, although in 2009 we did take the kids on trips, but we postponed our bucket list vacations. Kind of, and who had the time? We were kind of busy getting all this done. And honestly, with all that we put in that house, it was a tragedy that we sold it. And John and I both said at different times that if we could have just picked it up and moved it closer to James, we'd have done it. Let's see what this says. I've got this thing that says living in the moment. And that's kind of what we ended up doing. If I could work that in around there, that would work. How about maybe here? And then I can work some things around that. What else is in here? Simple pleasures. Love this part of our story. Yeah, because this was, you know, our story, our part of our story, John's and my story, is over, except for the happy memories. But, and this, you know, it's one of those things, had we known this, had we known that, and had we known John, you know, wouldn't live beyond when he lived, we might have, you know, spent more time doing things that were fun instead of spending literally an entire year renovating a house that we later lost over $100,000 on because we had to move. We had over improved the house for the neighborhood and for the town. It's a tiny little town, and I'm gonna break a line again and put it here and hope that the contrast of that kind of orangey red is enough to differentiate it from there. That's why I put it on such thick foam. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little thing here that says Happy Place and another one that says Sweet Memories. I'm gonna put the Sweet Memories one down here. And I need some foam on the end of it so that it pops up. I like how this is coming together. And I have to say, Adam inspires me to mix and match things. I already kind of, I already was fairly uninhibited about such things. But Adam does it with such flair and I guess that's a pun, and just authenticity. He does it because the colors and the patterns inspire him, and not because it follows any rule of goes together. And so it just, I love that about his pages. And they're always interesting to look at. And I don't know about you, but I end up wondering, where can I get that stuff? Where did that stuff come from? And a lot of it, I say, oh, I had some of that one time. Where is it now? Okay, don't think I need anything else from here other than there's a kind of a generic green label that I might like right up in here somewhere. Just for a touch of color. And this says doing what we love, but it's lavender. So I'm going to put that up. I think I'm done with it. I don't think, well, there's this feels like home. Okay, living in the moment, feels like home. And it's pink. It's a different kind of pink than the others we have going on. I'm thinking over the red would work better because the lettering on it is that same color of red. So I'll put that there. There's a little strip that says my favorite, and this was absolutely, unequivocally my favorite house that we've ever lived in, ever owned. It was everything we dreamed it would be, which was a perfect playground for the kids. They, at the time when we first moved there, their house was just right around the corner. So they all piled onto their bicycles and rode over to our house on Sunday mornings, and I made pancakes, and we had lots of fun. I have a couple pink hearts in this. I'm gradually getting down to there, and maybe adding a little pink up here might be cute. Let's do that. Oops. Okay. I might want to push that one down a little bit. There we go. Okay, and what else do we have? This is kind of pretty, but I don't know that I need, well, you know what? It might not hurt to have some background florals. Ooh, I like this. This is a stripe that's like one of the pattern papers in the collection. And it might be nice right under here. But you know what? It's going to run into this black and white piece. I don't think I need it. It would be nice on the page, but I don't need it. I like this that says "so cute," and this I can maybe run right there so that it's pointing at the house, except this really needs to be straight, and I don't have it straight. When you've got lines, you need to line up with them. Okay, and there was something on the other side I saw. Oh, okay. I could maybe use a background flower, but that means I have to pull this up. Let's try this. Maybe tuck that under or cut it. I see this is kind of resting on the blue, but I always had in mind I was going to tuck something under like so, and I think that's going to work. Now I've got stuff stuck to my fingers, and I want to put some foam behind that real quick so it doesn't flatten out. And again, I'm not going to stick it. I'll just kind of stick it just to the underside of that. And this I don't think I need, except maybe, would it go under that? I'm just going to put it there because it's hardly noticeable, and I've used a piece that it would be hard for me to keep up with if I didn't use it. So now I have the "so cute" bit that maybe I want to use, maybe lined up with this guy. Let's see if I can really do that. I think that works, and I believe I'm done. I have to tell you, I love this little fiber bit so well that I might, there's not enough of it that would show to make it worth the trouble to put there. The payoff wouldn't be equal to the, now there's another piece that I'm gonna, when we were renovating this, when we bought it and when we were renovating it, we were indeed the perfect pair, and it's a pair of peaches, and we were in Georgia, so that's kind of perfect, right? I'm gonna cut that in half, and I've got another bit of it there, but I can stick that right there. And then this, maybe just for the orange border, I don't, let me put it back. I put it back on here. Okay. I kind of like this floral because it's similar to a flower that we had. What if I put it kind of right there and it broke that upper line? Okay, I like that. And I'm gonna pull this, which has a lot of small bits and pieces, like this stamp that has the same kind of florals as from there. I don't see a place for that, and that's okay. Enjoy today. Another enjoy today. Ooh, I've got a couple more of these coneflower looking things. This is an ephemera version of that sticky, or the puffy sticker version. I kind of like that. And what if I layer it underneath? And with just a tiny bit of dimension, I have two of those. I don't know if the pack had two of everything, but I found twos of a couple things. I've got these. This is exactly that same design, but the colors look different. So I could kind of put it out there as or I could go for complete contrast with these purple flowers. I'm thinking I kind of like those. And then I have this one that has some dull sorts of colors. You know what? I didn't cover that up. I wonder if this would work on top of there. I think it will. Okay, now, and having done that, I'm going to go with these, the ones that are the same here, because they're repeated up there too. This little cottage was built in 1922, so it's 101 years old now. Wasn't quite that when we lived there. And it and the two next to it, there were three built in a row, were sold to the same person for just an outrageously low amount of money. And he was kind of a local he had another job and did it kind of as he renovated these as a part-time gig. And when he had finished with them, he sold them each one for about 7 or 8 times what he had paid for all 3. And so that was kind of cool. And we were a ways beyond that. I've got that little piece, which would be appropriate, but I don't have a place to put it. I think I'm done looking for things to put there. I want to make one check. I don't think I have any need for those 2 circles. Let me kind of cut the scrap off the edges of those. Let's see if there's anything in here. There's a little umbrella that might... That pink umbrella brings in this pink. Remember I said I needed to bring in the pink? Do I want it on this side or this side? There, the pink on the pink, it doesn't show up as much. So I'm going to use it on this side. I'm glad I checked, because I always find, and Adam does that too, he thinks he's finished with a page, and then he goes looking through boxes of stuff, and he finds the cutest things just to tuck in here and there. Let me kind of scooch that down there. That works. And that kind of looks a little bit like one of the beach umbrellas that we might have had. Vacay vibes. Where there's staycation, I'm going to put vacay vibes because we kind of felt like we were on vacation the whole time we were there. Does that work? I'm going to just kind of put that right there, and that's kind of sticking out there. I have this little butterfly that is a color that I like with it. And here's another one. Both of those have clipped wings, so I'm going to have to use them kind of tucked in to something. And I have a third one, but it's more of a, well, here's a third one right here. Okay, and it is the right color pink. I had one that was kind of a purpler pink. I think that's all I'm going to look for. What I had in mind when I came into this was maybe finding one of these because the color goes so well there. But I don't need it, so I'm not going to use it. And I will put that away. I have this blue flower that's kind of been driving me crazy and not sticking anywhere. Is there anywhere that it would belong? No. I don't like it, actually. Let me cut that leaf off of it. That kind of leaf makes it really hard to place on a page. But like this, I can tuck it anywhere, like there, okay? And again, on this pattern paper, it doesn't show much. And then this becomes a little leaf sprig that you can put anywhere, like so. All right, so that thing is used and it won't drive me crazy anymore. And at the end of my use of this Scrap Backwards kit, which will be the end of the year, I will, I'm planning to take all the things that have been kicking around in the kit, not getting used and driving me crazy, and they go into a little bin that I'm taking down to the school. The school was so excited. I purged all of my holiday supplies, Halloween, Thanksgiving, winter, and Christmas. And I pretty much everything in the, as far as papers and stickers and embellishments, ephemera, etc., went to the school, went to Ava's old elementary school. And I know one of the teachers really well, one of, like, it was Ava's kindergarten teacher who has kept up with Ava, and I see her every once in a while in my water aerobics class. She said, oh my gosh, the teachers were fighting over that stuff you brought. So I'm glad they were happy. And I said, I have some other, just those are seasonal. I have other supplies. She said, oh, bring us anything you have. That's not exactly the right color pink, but because I have so many pinks, I think it works. And I think I'm going to call this one done. I will not add any journaling here because I have a whole album of photos, before and after photos of the renovations that we did, and photos of events there, all the birthday parties and things like that. And so I'll just kind of put this in with that. And there's not really any journaling that needs to be done because we'll know this is just another little, I guess I could add a little note that I was feeling nostalgic about the house when I talked to the new owner, and I could put her name down on there. That might be a nice touch, just for anybody in the future wanting to kind of track down and see what's happened to the little house. So a strange conglomeration of product, and from the Christmas collection to, this is probably the oldest paper in here, the one with the little houses. I don't know where that's from. It's not Doodlebug or Bella Boulevard, which you might think. It may be Little Yellow Bicycle. It might be Pink Paisley. Most of the floral ephemera and the sticky, puffy stickers are Pinkfresh. These, I believe, are Paige Evans, Pinkfresh. These black and white strips are, and this blue are from 49 and Market, two different collections. I think the black and white ones are from Spectrum Gardenia, and this one, well, now that's not 49 and Market, that's Pinkfresh Simple Vintage Coastal. So lots of and then this paper right here, the bamboo, is from a Simple Stories collection called We Are Here, or You Are Here, somebody's here. So anyway, I love this page. I can't even believe how much I love it. So thank you for watching. Bye.